Good evening, viewers. I am ALANA NADIR with this evening's edition of the Regional News. Starting with news in Barbados. Prime Minister Mia Mottley Monday night announced a snap general election for January 19 next year, more than a year before it's constitutionally due. In a national broadcast, Mottley, the first woman to head a government there, said that nomination day will be in January and that she has advised President Sandra Mason to dissolve Parliament with immediate effect. In the last general elections held on May 24, 2018, Mottley led the Barbados Labour Party (BLP) to a commanding victory over the then ruling Democratic Labour Party (DLP), sweeping all 30 seats in Parliament. But since then, one of the legislators, Bishop Joseph Atherley, left to become opposition leader. Now for news in the Bahamas. The Office of the Attorney General has been consulted for legal guidance after a gas tanker that was rear-ended by a 207-foot super yacht sank off the coast of New Providence last Friday, according to a statement issued by the Ministry of Transport and Housing. The US $51 million super yacht Utopia 4 had been designed in 2018. The Italian designers reported that the vessel is fitted with 4 light Rolls-Royce engines as well as 4 hydrojets that provide it with a top speed of 33 knots and an average cruising speed of 26 knots. It is unclear what the speed of the yacht was at the time of the collision. A statement issued by Maritime Management LLC, which managed the ship MT Tropic Breeze, the vessel was struck at 10:03 p.m. on Christmas Eve by the MY Utopia 4, approximately 15 miles north-northwest of New Providence. 2 dams give way in the northeastern Brazilian state of Bahia after weeks of heavy rain swamping already swollen local rivers as flooding hits towns across the region, authorities said on Sunday. The Igua Dam on the Virunga River near the city of Victoria da Conquista in southern Bahia collapsed on Saturday night, forcing authorities to evacuate residents, mainly in the town. A second dam gave way to the rising water levels in Giuseppe, 100 kilometers to the north, on Sunday morning, bringing more alerts for residents to move to safer ground. Bahia governor said at least 400,000 people have been impacted by the heavy rains and thousands evacuated from some 67 towns facing emergency situations due to floods caused by heavy rain for almost 2 months. The rains have caused 18 deaths in Bahia since the beginning of November, including a 60-year-old ferry owner who drowned on the swollen Rio das Contas River, civil defense officials said. The United States Coast Guard says the crew of the cutter Raymond Evans repatriated 39 Cubans to Cuba Friday following 4 interdictions due to safety of life at sea concerns off the Florida Keys. The U.S. Coast Guard said the cutter's Mohawk's crew notified Sector Key West watch standards of a rustic vessel Sunday at about 7:15 a.m. local time, about 10 miles off Stock Island, Florida. The U.S. Coast Guard also said that the cutter Kathleen Moore's crew notified Sector Key West watch standards of a rustic vessel Monday at about 8:25 a.m., about 9 miles off Key West. On Monday, a towing vessel's crew member notified Sector Key West watch standards of 2 rustic vessels about 10:15 a.m., about 10 miles off Long Key, Florida, the U.S. Coast Guard said. Since October 1, 2021, the U.S. Coast Guard said its crew interdicted 462 Cubans compared to the 5,396 Cuban migrants in the fiscal year 2016. 1,468 for 2017, 259 in the year 2018, 313 in 2019, 49 in 2020, and 838 in the year 2021. And that concludes this evening's edition of the Regional News. I am ALANA NADIR. Thank you for joining.